Hola amigos, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm gonna start a new collection for the year 2020. I'm gonna start another vintage Kenner collection line, and this is gonna be based on superpowers, which are pretty much the superheroes based off the DC comics. So I already started off the collection with two action figures that I just recently picked up. The first one right here, this is Wonder Woman, released back in 1984 by Kenner, and of course I have this second figure right here, and this one was released at the same time. These both, Wonder Woman and the Green Lantern, are based on the first wave or the first series that were released back in 1984. So there was three waves that came out, or three series. So the first wave pretty much came out in 1984, second wave came out in 1985, and then the third wave, where pretty much this toy line was being canceled, was in 1986. So I picked up these two. I couldn't resist. The offer was so good. The deal, I just couldn't pass up the deal. But let me show you. And another reason why I picked these up is because they're both U graded, which is now, you know, since AFA does not grade anything uncirculated when it comes to loose action figures, I just couldn't pass up, man. I just could not pass that up. I mean, I know there's some collectors out there that hate the U grade. I don't mind it, but now it's gonna be harder and harder to find those action figures graded with the U grade. So let me show you the first one. Here's Wonder Woman. And so we have Wonder Woman here. She's got her magic lasso, or lasso of truth, whatever you want to call it. But there she is. And let me show you the label. So this is a 1984 Kenner Superpowers loose action figure, no country of origin, Wonder Woman, and she received a U85, so pretty much uncirculated 85 near mint score, which is really nice. Let me show you the backside right there. Really nice. So super clean. Obviously these came from a card back, and then whoever took these and graded them just pretty much you know, they had AFA take them out of the card back. Now the second one, again, another U graded action figure. This is the Green Lantern there, and you see his little lamp right there, the Green Lantern, which I don't like this because there's too much space. So as you can see, it kind of just moves around in there. But let me just show you the label here. So this is a 1984 Kenner Superpowers loose action figure, no country of origin, Green Lantern, and he also received a U85. So really great score. And again, you know, now it's going to be harder to get those U graded scores on action figures because they don't do that anymore by AFA, or I don't even think Collector Archive Services ever did it, but I'm not really sure. But so going back, so these are the first wave, like I said, released back in 1984. Now Superpowers was released globally, like all over the place. So you had Colombia, you had Europe, Argentina, Mexico, which is the Lily Lady. So they were released all over the place, in Canada and so forth. So there were actually, officially, there's about 34 figures that were released total in the line. So you had pretty much 32 that were released on the card back, but then you had two that were mailway exclusives, which one was Clark Kent in his regular Clark Kent kind of business attire, and then you had Steppenwolf. But Steppenwolf is kind of funny because he was a mailway offer, but he was also offered as a carded figure. So it's, you know, it gets kind of dicey on the number, but I would say it pretty much officially 34 released. But then if you add in the Riddler, now the Riddler was the very last figure to get released, and that was a Argentina exclusive. And Riddler was actually the same body mold, whatever, of the Green Lantern, except that they repainted him, because if you notice, like the Green Lantern and the Riddler share the same kind of mask right there. So all they did was repaint his body, obviously not give him the Green Lantern there, and that was pretty much an Argentina exclusive. So technically it'd be 35 figures total. So the first wave has 12 back in 1984, and then 85 was 11 figures were released, and then a third wave, which is the third series in 1986, was 10 figures. So that's 32, plus you add in the 2 mail away, that's 34, plus you add in that Argentina exclusive of the Riddler, that's 35 figures. Now so back to this collection. So my goal for this collection is just to collect the heroes. I don't know if I'm gonna do all 12, but I definitely want to focus on the heroes first. So on the first series, you had Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, you had Aquaman, you had Batman, you had the Flash, Hawkman, and then you had Robin and Superman. So those are the heroes that I'm looking forward to as of right now. Mostly I'm gonna try to just get them loose. I'm gonna hunt them down loose. I mean, getting them carded, they're all over the place carded. I mean, and there's so many different variants with the carded. I just do not want to go down that rabbit hole when it comes to collecting these. I just want to get them kind of loose. Now what's interesting about these figures also is that they did have a gimmick. Not only that they have their accessories and so forth, but I believe with these two very interesting. So with these two guys, if you squeeze their legs together, they would do some kind of like swinging arm action when you're swinging their legs. And then there was two of them. I want to say Flash is one of them, but I don't remember who's I think it's Aquaman. So yeah, Flash and Aquaman was reversed. So if you squeeze their arms together, then their legs will kick and do a kind of like a little walking or kicking action. And so obviously the Flash, because he runs, that was his gimmick, and then Aquaman, because he swims, that was his gimmick of him kind of swimming. So not only did they, there are 5 points of articulation. Actually, there are actually 6 points of articulation, because they do, as you probably noticed it with here with Wonder Woman, is that they do have a knee joint. So they're not just 5 POA, but I would say they're actually 6 POA. And so that's what's interesting about these figures. They do have a gimmick. You squeeze their legs, they do kind of a weird arm swinging motion. And then two of them, which was the Flash and Aquaman, you squeeze their arms together and then they do some kind of kicking action, which is kind of hilarious. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. So this is, I'm starting this. I'm still continuing on with Star Wars and Kenner Star Wars, action figures and all that. But it gets to the point. I mean, when you're collecting and stuff like that, especially vintage stuff, excuse me, once you get to a point where you're looking for the most rarest figures out there, it takes time. It takes time, and not only it takes time, but obviously it takes some serious coin to get those action figures. So, for me, I just wanted to start a new collection. I love these. I've been wanting to get these Kenner action figures. I'm a huge fan of Kenner action figures. The vintage ones, I think they're amazing. And it really just, it's really nice to be part of that history of, when Kenner was pretty much a massive toy company out there, and releasing all kinds of toys like Indiana Jones and RoboCop, and also all kinds of action figures out there. But this is what I'm starting with. So I have Wonder Woman and the Green Lantern, both U85, which is great. So hopefully, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find any more U graded action figures. If I do come across it, man, I am gonna jump all over that. But man, I just wanted to share that with you guys. New collection for 2020. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the vintage Kenner Superpowers action figure line. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I will talk to you in the next video.